Greetings, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today in practice. My name is Rachel Shepard. We're going to start our practice today standing in mountain pose. Find your feet about hips width distance apart. Let the arms relax by your sides. Feel the low abdominals starting to draw in and up, creating a nice base of stability and support. Allow your eyes to soften. That might mean that they close, or maybe just gaze down your nose. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Open the mouth and let it go. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathing in through the nose, feeling this fresh air, this fresh prana, life force entering the body. And as you open the mouth to exhale, invite your shoulders to soften, invite the back of your neck to soften, relax the jaw. 1 more full breath in. And out. Let's add our arms. With your inhale, let the arms sweep out to the sides and up, taking them just as high as is comfortable for you. Maybe the palms touch, maybe you look up. And as you exhale, let the arms reach out and down. We'll do that a few more times. As you inhale and let your arms reach up, try to feel your breath expanding into the back of your rib cage. Reach your tailbone down. And as you exhale and the arms come down, draw the low belly in and soften the shoulder. Let's go 2 more times. Breathing in, arms reach. And breathing out, an opportunity to soften. Right now, you're not doing any work, you're not having to do anything, but enjoy the movement of your body and allow fresh prana, fresh breath to revitalize. 1 more time, why not? That's what I'm feeling. Okay, we're going to continue to let the shoulders open with a little standing, swimming shoulders. So you might bring your hands in front of you, and if you'd like to do this with your hands up against the wall, you could always turn and put your hands up against the wall. So we're going to start to basically just roll the shoulders. We'll roll one shoulder forward, up, back, and down, and then let the other shoulder follow. Forward, up, back, and down. Allow them to alternate their circles, but let them both continuously move. So for instance, your left shoulder doesn't stop to wait for your right shoulder to start or continue its movement. They just kind of keep going. You might let your chest get into it a little bit here, kind of turning the chest along with you. Your neck might naturally be wanting to move a little bit from side to side. Let's do a few more times and take some deep breaths as you go. And then let things just relax, slow down, maybe shake out your arms by your sides. From here, let's take some neck rolls. So let your chin come down to your chest. And then begin to slowly let your ear travel towards one shoulder. Maybe you feel your body kind of side bending off towards that shoulder. So your whole spine and gravity can kind of take over the work of your neck. And then let your chin go back across your chest and off to the opposite shoulder. Continue a few more rounds of this movement, and if it's comfortable, welcome to let your head roll back, but don't sacrifice your neck, just to say, yeah, I did a full circle. It doesn't really matter. We just want the neck to feel good. We want to release tension. If you find a nice spot, feel free to pause there and just let it stretch a little bit. Maybe feeling the head get a little heavier as gravity takes over. Start to go the opposite way if you've been doing full circles. Breathe. And then with the chin to the chest, take a moment, maybe a little rock side to side, and let the head roll back up and let those shoulders both take a nice big roll back and down. Okay, so from here we're going to turn to face our chair. Bring your hands to the back of your chair. Be careful not to pull it over. And step the feet back so that you come into this kind of downward facing dog shape but standing, this L shape. I like my feet a bit wide. Find a moment to get your feet in the right position for you, narrow or wide. And let your hands be kind of wide on your chair as well. And then we're going to press down into the chair, feeling the back round, feeling some effort underneath of the armpits, maybe inhaling into the back of the shoulder blades. And then as you exhale, let the chest drop down. Maybe your head goes between your biceps. Who knows, maybe your head drops even lower. Inhaling and pressing down into the back of the chair, feeling the upper back muscles broaden, the armpits strengthen, and then exhale and let those shoulders open a little more. Let's go 3 more times. Know that you could totally bend your knees. If you're finding that your hamstrings are really talking to you here, just maybe step your feet forward and let your knees bend. Let's go 2 more times. Maybe you're starting to feel more of the entire spine getting into that movement. Maybe your tailbone is tucking under as you lift the upper back. Take a moment here and just allow the opening to be. Relax the neck. Maybe pedal the legs, bending one knee and then the other. Take a deep breath, fill all the way around your ribs, front, back, side, side. Open mouth, let it go. And then walk your feet forward, around the spine, coming closer to your chair. And then let the arms drop back by the sides. Maybe another opportunity to roll things around. All right, now let's get into the hips a little bit. So once again, finding a wider stance with your feet, maybe a little wider than your hip width. And bringing the hands to the hips, we're going to take some pelvic circles. So you might start letting your hips maybe push off to the left, and then push forward, push off to the right, and then push back. You can support the low back, maybe the hands come behind to the low back. Know that you only need to move in a circumference that feels good for you. Your circles can be big or they can be small. Your knees can be soft or they can be straight. Whatever you need to do so that your body is not in pain. We're just rolling our pelvis atop of our femur bones. Maybe you inhale as you circle the hips forward. Exhale as you circle your hips back. Let's go the opposite direction. Soften your neck, soften your shoulders. Maybe close your eyes. If you're in an office, don't worry if people are looking at you weird. You're doing something good for your body. I'm sure they wish they could join you. Maybe invite them in. And then we'll come back slowly to center. And we'll do a little bit of a little balancing. This is a somatic movement, gentle somatic movement called wiping sand from your feet. So if you'd like to place your hand to your chair or to your wall, and it's just the way it sounds. You pretend you have sand on the bottom of your feet, and you're gonna wipe it off. Your foot might stay on the floor wiping off sand, or it might swipe up the leg. We alternate, wipe sand off of one foot and then wipe sand off of the other. I like to play with the rotation, turning the knee in, turning the knee out, just to help get the hips kind of unlocked and open. If you want to play with where your arms are, maybe they come to your hips, maybe they come to your hearts. Maybe you want to stretch your arms up. Let's do a few more. Maybe your sandy swipes get a little bigger. Oh, got a nice pop. That was fun. All right, finishing up. And then coming back to stand. And just give it a little shake off. Let all those muscles and skins and things shake around on your bones. And then facing the chair once again, let's step the left foot forward towards the chair, and we'll step the right foot back, coming into a lunge. So maybe take your back heel and lift it up, finding balance on the ball of the foot, and let your feet be a bit wide so they are hips width distance apart. Find a bit of a tuck through the tailbone, and you might even bend your back knee a little bit to give a little extra tuck. We're looking for a big stretch through the front of the right hip or the back leg. Now you can stay with your hands on your chair. You can always move your chair closer if you need it for your balance. But let's see about maybe trying to take the right arm up towards the ceiling, just to deepen that stretch. Lengthen off of your hips. Actively feel your spine, the crown of your head lengthening up. And if it feels safe for you, maybe taking the left arm up, coming into our high crescent lunge. I like to interlace my fingers here and push the arms up. And let's bring the arms behind the back. Interlace the fingers back there. Roll the shoulders back and rinse out those shoulders. Now you can always do this by taking your right hand and just wrapping it around the back if your left arm is helping you balance. Take one more full big breath. And then release, and we'll switch legs, stepping right foot forward, left foot back. Find a nice deep lunge, deep enough that you get a good stretch, good sensation. You can widen your feet, you can use your chair for balance. Give that tail a tuck, squeeze the glutes, firm your pelvis, stabilize the low back. You can put a soft bend in the back knee. Breathe. And then if you wish, taking your left arm and reaching the left arm up. Draw the low abdominals in and up, lengthen away from your hips. And if you like, invite your other arm to reach up. Interlace the fingers perhaps, and stretch the arms up. Big breaths. And then we'll take the hands behind the back, whether it's just your left arm wrapping behind your back so your right hand can hold you up, or interlacing both hands behind the back. Press the knuckles back, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. And then releasing the arms after your next breath and stepping the feet back together. Give them a little bit of a shake out. All right, from here, let's do a little Pilates roll down just to kind of decompress the spine, chin to chest, and begin to slowly roll down through the spine. The front ribs drawing in, the abdominals drawing in. Feel that nice C curve. Maybe wiggle the hips a little bit side to side, feeling that big stretch in the low back. Allow yourself to come all the way down until you can touch the floor. And maybe that means your body needs to bend its knees so that you can really touch the floor. Actually, I invite you to bend your knees even if you can touch the floor with straight legs. It feels really good. And you can kind of pedal things out a little bit. Maybe one knee straightens and one knee bends. Give your head a little shake. Maybe walk your hands over to one side and the other. Just finding those choice points that you're like, yeah, that feels good. My body wants to be here. We'll take maybe 3 more breaths, just exploring this forward fold. And then tucking the tailbone, and we can roll ourselves up when you're ready, lifting through the pelvic floor, one vertebrae at a time. We stack until the shoulders and the head come up last, and we can roll everything out. All right, so let's come to have a seat in our office chair or whatever chair that we might be working with. You can sit on the floor as well, I think, for what I'm about to do. So come to sit towards the edge of your chair so you aren't encouraged to slouch or lean back. Hold your spine with some integrity. And then let's take a little figure 4 stretch. Let's bring our right ankle just atop the left knee. Now, if this is a little bit too much for your knee or your hip, you could take that leg that's on the floor and lengthen it out so that it doesn't go quite so high. Okay? Flex your right foot so your knee stabilizers are turned on. And then if it feels comfortable, if you decide you want a little more, maybe hinge forward at the hips, thinking of keeping a nice long spine as you come forward. You might enjoy a gentle rock side to side with that knee, hip. And then let's take this into a twist. So the right hand can come to the right foot. The left hand can maybe come behind you onto your chair's backrest, and then maybe a little press into your right hand to help you rotate deeper. You could hinge forward and put the forearm on the foot. And some days when I'm feeling rather open, adventurous, I like to put my right elbow on the instep of my foot, and then make a fist and put my left palm on top, and then use that as some leverage to twist here. Find an area where you can relax your neck, and take a couple nice deep breaths. Soften your shoulders, relax your jaw. And then we'll come back into the center, and we can uncross that ankle. Adjust if you need to adjust, and we'll take the opposite ankle over, left ankle over right knee. Find a position that's going to make sure your knee feels happy and safe. Flex your left foot. And then I invite you to hinge forward if your hips feel like they want a little bit more. Always keep your knee safe, please. Nice smooth breaths in and out through the nose. You might not take the opportunity later to breathe deeply, so let yourself breathe deeply now. And then we'll take this into our twist. Left hand can come to the left foot. Right hand can come behind. Maybe a little push-pull action here. And then deciding if you want to hinge forward for the forearm or the elbow variation, whatever feels best for you and your body at this moment. Find a way you can relax your neck, relax the shoulders. Breathe deep. You're here now. Nothing you need to do. No tasks need to be completed or planned for. Just feel the sensations in your body. A little reset. And then we'll gently come back to the center, uncross this leg. Maybe send the legs out, give them a little shake. All right, and then from here, let's take the feet wide. So still sitting towards the front edge of your chair, and we'll have the feet as wide as they feel comfortable. Then placing the hands to the inside of the knees, we'll just kind of hinge forward so we're a real deep hip opener. Make sure your knees and your toes are tracking in the same direction. So if your knees are falling way in and your toes are pointing out, try to either push your knees wider or maybe walk your feet in. That'll keep your knees safer. And then as you're hinged forward, maybe drop one shoulder down, turn to look over the other shoulder, and then come back to the center and switch, drop the opposite shoulder down. Let's go back and forth 2 more times. I'm so happy I have a window here in my workspace. My workspace is at home, so it's, not hard to have a window. And it's such a beautiful day out. One of those sneaky nice weather days in Virginia in February. One more time the other way. All right, and then coming back into the center, how about we take our left elbow down towards the left thigh, and then reach the right arm up and over. Soften your left shoulder. If your elbow doesn't come down to your thigh comfortably, simply put your hand on your thigh. And then you can stay in this side reach, but if you'd like to give your shoulder a little bit of movement, especially if you too have been sitting at a desk a lot today, we don't want those shoulder blades to get locked up. You can kind of roll that shoulder around, draw some big circles. You might find a spot that you're like, oh, I didn't know it felt so good right there. You can explore that spot. Take 2 more big breaths. Soften the neck. And then bring the body back upright, and we'll go to the opposite side. Right hand on right thigh or right elbow to knee. Reaching the left arm up. Finding a big, yummy side stretch. And then either sticking in that stretch or drawing big circles around. Staying away from pain or strain always. And discovering what feels good in the body. Big breaths. Find a nice space to stretch. Take 1 more big inhale. And then exhale, return back up to the center, and let's walk those feet back into the middle. All right, we'll finish our last movement with some cat-cows here. So with the hands in front of the knees, inhaling, maybe drawing the shoulder blades towards the back, bring the chest forward and arch the back. And then with the exhale, and I like to push down on my knees here, tuck the tailbone, chin to chest, draw the abdominals in and round through the spine. Let's go back and forth 2 or 3 more times. Notice any sensations that you feel, those little crackles and pops. Maybe wiggling a little bit side to side as you discover new things. Part your teeth, let your jaw relax, let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. And then let's return back to our seated position, nice and upright. Let the palms rest facing up in a mudra of receiving. Soften your eyes, whether they close or you simply gaze down your nose to the floor, and we'll just take a few moments here. Breathing in through your nose, feel the lungs fill. And breathing out through your nose, feel the lungs empty and the body soften. Put all of your focus on the sensation of your breathing, just for a few more moments, another breath or 2. And invite yourself to find the peacefulness of this moment right now. Just breathe. And if you'd like, I invite you to bring your hands to your heart somehow, whatever feels comfortable for you. A gentle bow of your chin to your chest in a sign of gratitude for taking some time to stretch, to reset your body. And I thank you so much for joining me today in practice. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope it goes exactly the way you want it to go and you feel successful and at ease once it's over. Namaste.